information is pretty simple to explain. Basically, when Nixon was discovered having committed Watergate, people thought the Republican Party was washed up. But a clever staffer on in Nixon's White House came up with an idea for how to get more new Republican voters to replace all the people that were turned off by the corruption that had just been exposed, and perhaps save the party. His name was Lee Atwater. And he said, I know where there's all kinds of disgruntled white people. All you got to do is appeal to them over their anger about the end of Jim Crow and about school desegregation and about the Civil Rights Act. And these are the words that you'll say to kind of trigger them. Then we call these the racist dog whistles. And you will send a message to them that they are welcome in the Republican Party. And starting in the mid-70s to the mid-80s, there was a massive change in voter registration from Democrat to Republican on the part of all of these racists and lowlifes and ignorant people. At the same time, Trump started to have political ambitions. Now, it turns out Trump has an IQ of about 73. He barely functions as an adult. If it were not for the fact that his father gave him a lot of money, he wouldn't be able to function as an adult. Trump has less money now than he would have had if he'd just taken the money he got from his father and put it in an index fund in the stock market and just let it sit. But he's gradually played around with it all these years and lost it in all his lawsuits and so forth, and his 6 bankruptcies, and he has dissipated a fortune over his lifetime. Now, he's had the Russians for the last 20 years to bail him out, but ordinary people cannot be as dumb as Trump and still function. But Trump came out onto the public stage and started talking boldly like he wanted to do things politically and help the people of America, and he speaks like a third grader, because that's what somebody with an IQ of 73 talks like, even if they're an adult. Linguists have analyzed his speech, and they've made it plain. He speaks English at a third grade level. This energized dumb people, because for the first time they could understand a presidential candidate. And they said things like, oh, he speaks his mind. He's the first guy that doesn't use a bunch of fancy words and confuse me. Now I finally understand what he's saying. And of course, what he was saying was a lot of things they wanted to hear. They were the racist dog whistles. And so you had a beautiful alliance from their perspective of racists and stupid people. The lower 12% of the IQ distribution corresponds perfectly to Trump's supporters. Now, these people are so intelligent that there's actually a federal statute that prohibits their induction into military service. They didn't want to have a repeat. Congress didn't want to have a repeat of the McNamara's morons incident from Vietnam, which is a notorious thing you can look up on your own. McNamara's morons, it's called. Basically, we had a Secretary of Defense who had the idea that, hey, why don't we recruit low intelligence people, send them to war and see what happens. And what happened was they died in droves, and of course things got worse. And so they didn't want that happening again, so they actually passed a law. You're not allowed to recruit and induct into military service the lowest 12% on the IQ range. But they're still allowed to vote, and Trump energized them. He made dumb people think that they finally understood politics. He made people strut around proud of themselves thinking that they had a grasp of the issues, because they could tell on some level that Trump wasn't much smarter than they were, but there he was, a big shot. So he seemed like a champion for them. Of course, all these people forget that they aren't rich. They didn't have a dad hand them the equivalent of $412 million. And they can't do the things that Trump does, and they can't get away with the things Trump has gotten away with. And even Trump himself is not going to get away with them indefinitely. But the stage has been set, and this is where we're at. Basically, we have a fanatical core of low intelligence voters that are solidly behind Trump. They will back him no matter what he does or says, because they don't care what he does or says. They just know he's their guy. They understand him. They like him. He talks to them in a way that they can comprehend, and they are fanatical in their support of him. He has given them what they see as dignity and strength. And then at the other end of the spectrum are smart people from all walks of life. I actually used to be a Republican myself. I'm ashamed to admit it now, but I know I'm not alone. I mean, millions of people who make sure that they turn out to vote against Trump used to be actual Republicans, because the Republican Party is now nothing but a loony bin of the very low intelligent. And there's just no way that you can be associated with them at all. So now it's going to be, some range of conservative to liberal Democrats again, except that it'll mean something different than it used to mean. I mean, those Democrats won't be conservative because they're racist garbage people from the South. They'll be conservative because they have some other philosophy about the role of the market or of private enterprise or something like that in the economy. At any rate, this is the problem we have. It's basically now just the very low intelligent versus the high intelligence. And the thing is going to be decided by undecided people who don't pay any attention. People in the middle that don't pay attention to politics, no matter whether the politicians are smart or dumb. They just show up on election day and try to do their best. Those are the people you have to reach. You have to get them interested.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Hey, guys. I thought I would start the show with that video today because, it takes so long to get people in here. Instead of just sitting here staring at the camera, I figured I would do it that way. We got 21 people. Everybody, please hit the like button. It's very, very important. Subscribe if you haven't already. and hop in the chat whenever you like, and we can get started. Matthew Wren, I got to give you your wrench back. Don't take offense. The other day, I have a terrible memory, as you know, Matt. And I took a bunch of wrenches, and then I hit Miss Can't Be Wrong up, and I said, is Matthew Wren still in the chats? She said, yeah, he was in here earlier. So, my bad. Here's your wrench back. Let me also throw this in there, in case anybody would like to use that. Doesn't happen often, but you never know. Anti-ICE equals pro-illegal alien pedos. Well, again, you guys can't talk about pedos because your guy, your Orange God King, is covering up the Epstein files. So you guys can't talk. You can say whatever else you want. Can't talk about pedos, because if you cared about pedos, you'd be all over Trump for this, all over him. But you don't care. That's not an issue that bothers you. So don't try to act like it does. If you stand for something, you stand for it all the time. Not just when it's your guy, you don't. When it's somebody you don't like, you do, and all that horse shit. I think he is Patty Whacker. Well, so what percentage of illegals are pedos? Just out of curiosity. Rob, that's what the Trump people are doing, not us. Not us. How you figure? What did I make up, Patty Whacker? Tell me what I made up. Don't just say that. Except you can't, because I haven't made anything up, and everything I'm saying is straight facts. All illegals are illegal? So you're against crime of any kind, right, Rob? You're a law and order type of guy? That's because you do. How many criminals did they arrest? How many exactly? A few thousand out of almost 1 million people deported? 500,000, whatever it is? A few thousand? Hey, Rob, answer my question, bro. You're against crime in general? I just want to make sure. Because like I said, you can't stand for something, some of the time. If you stand for something, you stand for it all the time. Okay? I don't know about that, Patty Whacker. I'd have to check that out, but sounds like bullshit. What mess did the Democrats make? Tell me specifics, turn 3. Tell me what they've done that Trump is fixing. I had to wait legally to come here, so I fucking pissed off. They let all these asshole in. Okay. So in other words, you want other people to suffer because you didn't get your way soon enough. So because you had to suffer, everybody else should suffer too. True Trump supporter, 100%. You're arguing with your shadow, not what anyone says or any facts. No, I'm presenting the facts. You guys just can't come back with any. Okay, so I'll ask again. So you're against crime, right? Because the 1,600 people Donald Trump pardoned were criminals, many very violent criminals who assaulted 140 police officers on January 6th. And Donald Trump himself is a convicted felon. So if you're against illegals committing misdemeanors, you have to be against the president committing felonies, right? Yeah, I know. DHS said that, really? You believe DHS? DHS, Trump's DHS, huh? Yeah. The Democrats opened the border on purpose. No, they didn't, and it wouldn't even make sense because, again, I know you guys don't believe this, but illegals can't vote. We haven't had open borders in over 100 years. Aren't you a criminal for illegally entering the country? Me? No, I never entered the country illegally. Are you talking about people in general? It's a misdemeanor. It's like shoplifting. You know what I mean? Or like a DUI, something like that. What's up, Angela Jade? January 6th was a Democrat false flag. That's why they deleted most of the evidence. Was that right? So let me ask you something. Who pulled off that false flag? I'm seriously asking. Kath, whatever the fuck your name is. I'm seriously asking. Who pulled it off? Like, how did the Democrats do it? I think they have insurance coverage for TDS. Tremendous dick syndrome. I've tried. All I could do is get some sort of reduction, and it sounds painful, and I'm fine with my dick, so I'm keeping it. Yeah, Brandon, this is the beginning of the show. Every show is like this. You might want to go check my other views. Mushbrain Biden's left the border open. Okay. They can appear on the census and affect the number of representatives, though. Uh-huh. Illegals get counted under the census. Yeah, we're fully aware. So is anybody going to answer my fucking question? I guess not, right? You guys just put shit out there, but you can't answer the question. You said it's a Democrat false flag. How? Because you do know that Donald Trump was in office, right? And that was his FBI on January 6, 2021, not Biden's. You know that, right? So how did the Democrats do it? And by the way, are you also saying that Donald Trump pardoned hundreds of liberals? Because he pardoned all the people that got arrested for January 6th. Oh, yeah. Another one. Guy's probably smoking crack right now. He's talking about me smoking cigarettes. Well, I got a life, Ken Blake. Believe me, better than you. Guarantee it. You're sitting here watching me and you're telling me to get a life. You're bright. Very bright. Which one would that be? You mean BBC? What does that have to do with anything? How is it Pelosi's fault? You know, Pelosi has absolutely nothing to do with the National Guard, right? Nothing. That she doesn't have the power to turn down the National Guard. Trump just didn't want the National Guard there. That's it. That's true. That's true. No, I don't. I ask you to come back at me. I present facts, and then you can't come back at me, but I just put shit out there. What is your problem, bro? Answer. You said these things. You said that there was a Democrat false flag. How? Yes, they are. They are the Zinc Roofer. Good to see you, by the way. It's been a while. FBS, have you ever eaten at Enero Lagasse's? No. No, I never ate at any of them. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. Very, very important. How'd she do that, Alicia? How'd she do that? No, that's not true, Miles P. Nancy Pelosi took place for not beefing up Capitol security. The Capitol security, that's it. She has nothing to do with the National Guard. Trump says, bring in the National Guard. The National Guard are there. As you can see from all the blue states he's sending the National Guard into. How do you do on your live streams, Brandon Freeman? Just out of curiosity. Pardoned every single one of them. Yep. Yeah. Again, Ed's, whatever the fuck your name is, I guarantee you drink, you do some sort of drug, guarantee it. But keep focusing on my smoking, yeah. Because you're a bunch of pussies. What the fuck? You guys talk about snowflakes. When I grew up, I don't know how old you guys are. Everybody and their fucking mother smoked, literally. But now you guys are like, oh, he's smoking. It's like he's shooting heroin. Assholes. You can't enter a country illegally, though. Not okay. Obama and Clinton did tens of thousands of ICE raids and deported like 5 million people. They awarded Tom Homan for it back then. Yeah, Clinton, there was no ICE when Clinton was in office, Lee. You know, it didn't exist then. ICE was created in 2003, so didn't happen. And Obama, yeah, except it was done completely differently. They all got due process, bottom line. They all got due process. I wouldn't doubt it, Bill Palumbo. I wouldn't doubt it. No, you can't. Nancy Pelosi cannot refuse the National Guard. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. You guys are pathetic that you still don't know that. I know Angela J, but they know best. You know, the people that elect, well, I know you're a Trump supporter, but the people that still support a guy who covers up the Epstein files, they know best. Meanwhile, their fucking president is morbidly obese, the guy they worship, morbidly obese, and eats McDonald's 3 fucking times a day. No, she didn't. She did not. You want to hear? Watch. You want to hear? You won't believe it anyway. Watch. Did Nancy Pelosi turn down the National Guard on January 6th? Hold on. Subscribe if you have. I got my video on here. Hold on. Did Nancy Pelosi turn down the National Guard on January 6th? No, Nancy Pelosi did not turn down a request for the National Guard on January 6, 2021. In fact, Pelosi did not have the direct legal authority to unilaterally deploy or refuse the National Guard. Yeah, it's bullshit, guys. You just listen to Trump and you think you know stuff. What do the Democrats do that's so good for the country? How far you want to go back? Like civil rights, or do you want to go back to like the 40-hour work week because they're responsible for that? Overtime after 40 hours, they're responsible for that. Unemployment, they're responsible for that. Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. What else do you want to include? How about the American Rescue Plan, the stimulus check you got in what, 21, 22, 21, I believe. Inflation Reduction Act created 750,000 manufacturing jobs. The PACT Act, which helped veterans that were affected by burn pits in Afghanistan, also increased funding to the VA. Should I go on or what? They fix the economy every time a Republican destroys it. Tell me how, Daryl Mudge. Tell me how. See, when you guys say you just put shit out there, this is just putting shit out there. Because now I'll ask Daryl how they did it, and he won't have an answer. A lot of veins? What does that mean, Angela Jade? You write, you put shit out there. It's okay. You're Y-O-U-R, a shithead, 2 words, and a moron with 2 R's. Good job, Connie. Good job. Go ahead, stupid. See what happens. I've had this channel 4.5 years. I've been reported for everything under the sun. I got 1 strike, and that's because the guy who played Robert De Niro's son on A Bronx Tale talked about COVID conspiracy theories on my fucking interview with him, and I got struck for that. It wasn't my fault. All right, I'm going to go to the bottom. Highest inflation rate during the Biden administration in 40 years. Yeah, of course. And it was pretty much instant because of COVID. Every single nation, you can look this up since you like to do research, right? Look it up. Every single nation on earth experienced massive inflation after the pandemic. And we had the lowest rate of inflation. And Joe Biden brought that down to 2.4%. Right now, it's 2.7%. What the fuck is this? Oh, I was like, veins. What the fuck, Angela? Trump is constantly breaking the law. He consistently lies. He is serving his own twisted interests, not those of the American people. Agreed. Democrats have flipped almost 30 seats since 2024. Republicans, 0. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. They always do. Dude, Biden and his DEI border czar, DEI because she's black, right? Yeah. Border czar let in over 10 million people. Do you have any idea how many court cases that would be and how long it would take? They can have their cases, but wait overseas. Yeah, that's not due process, fuckface. Again, you guys are quick to preach the Constitution when it comes to the Second Amendment, but you don't give a fuck about the rest of it, right? Anybody on U.S. soil gets due process according to the Constitution, period. And you don't get to say anything because, quite frankly, who are you even? By the way, Kamala wasn't DEI. You just think everybody black is because you're a racist scumbag. And you have there is no proof whatsoever. They let any amount. First of all, they didn't let nobody in. But about the people that came in under their administration, there's no proof it was 10 million. And Kamala was never the border czar. That's a fucking name that Fox News gave her. Yeah, I don't read Wikipedia. No, I just know more than you guys. USMC, you've been in here before. You know you're stupid. Do I have to point it out every time you come here? What files are that? You're talking about the Epstein files, right? Biden didn't even know where he was. He was no worse off than Trump is now. That's for sure. Yes, he did. You're so full of shit. Y-O-U-R. Thank you, Angela Jade. Trump left an inflation bomb for Biden, but Biden managed to get 9% down to 3%. Basically, yeah. Yeah, and they don't like to mention either that when Trump left office, there was a 6.6% unemployment rate. They don't like to bring that up. And Biden brought that down to 3.4%. All right. The host, yeah, right. Sure I am. Trump is saving this country while you sit there saggy and soggy complaining. It's a very gay thing to say. How's he saving the country exactly? You know that it's like everything is worse now than it was under Biden, right? You keep talking shit, you turn it in. Wait. You keep talking shit, you turn into it poor shit. Okay, Connie, good job. The fuck does that mean? Sure. But guys, don't preach laws to me. I don't want to hear you preaching laws when you are fine with 1,600 January 6th rioters who assaulted 140 police officers being pardoned. I don't want you to hear you talk shit about the law when Donald Trump is a 34-time felon and you wore a shirt with his mugshot, proud of it. I don't want to hear any of that, but you guys stand for nothing. You claim to care about the law when it's Hunter Biden or Joe Biden or somebody like that. When it's Trump, it's like, oh, they're fake crimes. Yeah. You claim to care about pedos when it's Democrats you think who are the pedos. Once you realize it's Republicans, you don't want to see any part of the Epstein files. You guys are as full of shit as they come. You don't know anything. Angela Jade, why? Doesn't Angela have a wrench now? Are you talking about a different Angela? That Angela? $30,000 lies in his first term. Yep. 30,000 lies. We know Democrats are pedos. Which ones exactly? Yeah, you didn't need one, Jay Bird. If you go look at how the DNC picks their nominee, then you'll know they didn't need one. So let me just ask you, with 107 days left to campaign, the Democrats were supposed to be like, fuck that. We're going to do a primary. Hopefully by the end of that, we'll have like 4 days to campaign. Shut the fuck up. They didn't have to do one. They didn't have to. You guys are nuts, man. You guys are truly a cult, and you talk about tribal mentality. Yeah. That's another thing. It's funny. Kath, what kind of dumbass name do you have anyway? Kethris? What the fuck is your name? Mush brains. So again, I can show you videos that prove Donald Trump is at least as bad, if not way worse off than Biden. I believe way worse off. Secondly, I bet you're an addict or somebody in your family is, maybe one of your kids, something like that. But you guys lack such creativity that you got to go after a guy's drug addiction, and not only the guy that's addicted, but you go after his father because his son was addicted to drugs, a parent's worst nightmare. You know, you're truly scum of the earth. And here's the best part. You like to point out Hunter Biden, but you don't like to mention Don Jr., who is clearly, without a doubt, a full-blown cocaine addict. Without a doubt. I was thrown off the way you said that, the first sentence, bro. Grow some hair. Yeah, I'll get right on that, Jimmy. Yeah. What are you? Let me see your picture. I'm trying to see you. What are you? Oh, you look like a douchebag. Yeah, not surprising. This guy talking about the past. How long do you think it'll be until they bring up the 2020 election or Obama or Clinton? I talk about the past. Yeah. I don't even know what a subreddit is. Your talking points are great with your 82 viewers. You're in fact the minority. How many do you get, Anecdote, when you do your live streams? How many do you get? Let me guess. You've never done a live stream, so you have no idea what you'd get. I guarantee it wouldn't be 95 or 78 or 13. Guarantee it. Host is a joke who couldn't be heard in his home. What the fuck does that mean, Dr. Phil? Trump pardoned the 400-ton cocaine trafficker to give it all to Junior. Oh, yeah. Junior could definitely snort 400 tons. Obama was installed like Mushbrains Biden. Really, really. Even though Obama won twice against John McCain and Mitt Romney, he kicked ass. Sure. Yeah, let's look at some videos of how good, how well off Trump is mentally. Let's see. Which one should we start with today? How about this?
And I left Louisiana and I went to Puerto Rico and I met with the president of the Virgin Islands. These are people that are incredible people. They've suffered gravely and we'll be there. We're going to be there.
Yeah, he's the president of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. But he doesn't know that. How about this?
The president of Venezuela called the strike on the boat illegal. Are you concerned that Maduro might escalate something?
No, what's illegal are the drugs that were on the boat and the drugs that are being sent into our country and the fact that 300 million people died last year from drugs. That's what's illegal.
300 million people died last year from drugs. There's only 340 million people in the whole country, but 300 million of them died. What else we got? Let's watch the one where he's asked the same question twice in a row in a completely silent room, and he answers like this.
Okay, please, in the back.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question? Who?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here, days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at Alligator Alcatraz.
I'm going to spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even when it wasn't, it was still the Oval Office, so it meant a lot. But I'll spend as much time as I can here. My vacation is generally here because it's convenient. I live in Palm Beach. It's my home. And I have a very nice little place, nice little cottage to stay at, right? But we have a lot of fun, and I'm a big contributor to Florida, pay a lot of tax. And a lot of people move from New York, and I don't know what New York is going to do. A lot of people moved to Florida from New York, and it was for a lot of reasons, but one of them was taxes. The taxes are so high in New York, they're leaving. I don't know what New York's going to do about that, because some of the biggest, wealthiest people and some of the people that pay the most taxes of any people anywhere in the world, for that matter, they're moving to Florida and other places. So we're going to have to help some of these states out, I think. But thank you very much. I'll be here as much as I can.
Yeah, the question was, how long are the detainees going to be held here in Florida? And that was his answer. So, guys, you could say whatever you want. Doctors are coming out left and right that have analyzed this guy. There is no question, first of all, that he had a stroke within the last 6 months. He definitely had a stroke. And he's without a doubt a dementia patient. No doubt about it. And it's just a matter of how far along it is. And that's why he keeps taking cognitive tests. Nobody volunteers to take cognitive tests. Your doctor suggests it. And he took 3 in the last year. So he knows, they all know he's demented. He's losing his mind. You guys just can't face it because he is your God and he can do no wrong. Definitely had a stroke. When is the Alligator Alcatraz going to open? Oh, it's been open. It's been open. Yet said Joe Mencha was 109% lucid. Who said that? I said that? When? You're just making that up, Rock and Roll Jesus? Great name. Biden publicly committed to picking a woman as his VP. He later said he would pick a black woman for the role. Result, Kamala Harris, U.S. Supreme Court. U.S. Supreme Court. Who are you referring to? Number one. And number two, are you talking about whatever the fuck his name is? Ketanji fucking Brown or whatever? That's, that every presidential nominee picks a vice president that they think could help them with a certain voter demographic. So he picked a woman and he picked a black woman. Now, as far as that's DEI, why didn't he pick Oprah? Why didn't he pick Nicki Minaj? Why didn't he pick, I don't know, name a black woman? He picked Kamala specifically. Why is that? Could it be that Kamala Harris was qualified by any chance? Considering that she was a prosecutor, then a district attorney, then an attorney general, then a U.S. senator? Could it be that? Oh, yeah, no doubt, Lee S. Sorry. Oprah is a joke. I agree, but you see what I'm saying? Like they act like he just picked any woman and any black woman. Like he didn't care as long as he got a black woman, but yet he picked Kamala, who is awfully qualified. Democrats are a joke. Great. It's funny that, Daryl, I noticed with your comments, you really don't know anything. Like you haven't come in here and said one thing that would indicate that you have any knowledge of politics, Trump, Biden, or anything else. It's fascinating. And the scary part is you get to vote. Labo, well said. Kitty Wolf, you're a fucking idiot. Kamala was elected vice president. So there you go. Qualified for sucking dick. See, you guys, I swear to God, I hope you don't have daughters. But if you do, they're probably whores anyway. With parents like you. Yeah. Thing is about Kamala, and I'm not even a huge Kamala fan, but I just hate when people lie on other people. Two things you guys throw out about Kamala. She was a whore and she was a drunk. Neither of them, any proof behind them whatsoever. She had a relationship with Willie Brown for about a year. His wife knew all about it. Him and his wife had been separated 11 years at that point in time. And then every position, with the exception of her first job as a prosecutor, she was elected to. Every position. So, well, Mike, you're telling me you think Donald Trump is qualified, even now, to be president? Donald Trump couldn't point out North America on a fucking world map. You kidding me? Donald Trump doesn't know anything. Anything. He never has. He never will. His own aides said they would try to teach the Constitution to him and he would fucking fall asleep in the meetings, which, by the way, he's fallen asleep constantly lately. Oh my God, of course she is. And quite frankly, anybody is. Why? You realize, Christopher Windsor, again, and you're here all the time, so you know this, that Kamala and Tim Walz only lost by 2 million votes. Sure, they lost. They had 107 days to campaign, whereas Trump had years. And they only lost by 2 million votes. But Trump lost to Biden by 7 million votes. So I guess neither of them were real bad picks. No, because Travis, you don't even know anything about Kamala. Tell me how Kamala Harris is less qualified for anything than Donald Trump. Let me tell you how stupid you guys are. So Kamala Harris is a woman that went to Howard University, graduated. Then she was a prosecutor. Then she was a district attorney. Then she was an attorney general of California, then a U.S. senator, then a vice president. Okay. Donald Trump was a slumlord and a reality TV show host, knew nothing about politics, couldn't answer a question in detail to save his life during any debate or anything. And you guys honestly can say Kamala's not qualified, but Trump is. This is why we know how stupid you all are. You know what I mean? This is why we know, because of comments like that. According to those Epstein emails, Trump's the throat goat. Well, the Democrats, they didn't let anything, as Isaac and Son. He should have dropped out sooner, but Democrats have no power to pull him out of the presidency. None whatsoever. Yeah, except she was elected to all of them. I believe she got 12 million votes in California or something. So yeah, it's a lot of dicks to suck. Fruitcake. Probably talking about your mom. Yeah, no shit, Magic Johnson. And his grades were paid for. Every fucking buddy knows that. He didn't do any work there. And one of his professors said he was the stupidest kid in the whole fucking school. He literally had the FBI confiscate his high school records, his school records and shit, because he didn't want anybody to see what his grades were like. So please stop acting like he wasn't a rich kid whose dad didn't just pay his way into fucking to school, because he did. A self-made billionaire. Real rare. He inherited $412 million from his father. He's the furthest things from self-made. If you guys still believe that I borrowed a small loan of $1 million, horse shit, you should all have fucking lobotomies. He inherited $412 million fucking dollars. Like what, Charles? You know your president is a 34-time felon, right? You know that, right? Okay, just checking. Trump's own professor said he was stupid as a student. Of course. He's still stupid. He's dumb as a box of rocks. I tell you guys, the only reason you think he's smart is because you're dumber than him. You know what I mean? It's true. Yeah, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Listen, any conservative could be eaten alive by any liberal, believe me. No, bullshit. If you donate enough money, you can get your kid into fucking any school. 100 fucking %. His dad was a fucking billionaire. So please. Proof of what? What would you like proof of? See, rock and roll Jesus, this is what I mean. See, you guys, and I got to get into this in every show, because in every show, his own mother called him stupid. Every show you guys come in with this shit. Now, first of all, before I go on, let me just make it clear. We are very inclusive here. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're any of the LGBT or the Q or whatever else they added onto it. You don't bother me. Live your life. I live mine. But you guys are very, very closeted. Very rock and roll Jesus, because you're running around a chat that has nothing to do with gay sex, yet you're thinking about a 10-inch cock in somebody's mouth, which tells me you're probably on the wrong platform on the internet. You might want to be looking for some sort of gay porn site. Okay, you guys, this is why Grindr crashes anywhere there's a big Republican event like Charlie Kirk's memorial or the RNC, the gay dating app. It always crashes. And listen, I don't care if you're gay. That's fine. But I mean, don't lie about it. And don't project your fantasies onto me, because I'm as straight as a fucking arrow. I'm married to a beautiful, beautiful woman. So please, rock and roll Jesus, keep it to yourself or go spew that shit somewhere else, please. It's disgusting. Yeah, that's not happening. That's another thing you guys got tricked into. It's funny. I got a 13-year-old in middle school. I've asked him probably a dozen times, are they teaching you any of this shit in school? Anything about sex? Anything about gay sex or trans people? He said no. He looked at me like I had 6 fucking heads. I also have a teacher in my family. It's not happening at her school either. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He failed more than he ever succeeded, 1,000 times more. See, rock and roll Jesus, just because you're bringing your weird sexual proclivities and shit into the chat, I'm going to let you go, buddy. Rock and roll Jesus is out cock shopping right now. You celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. Kind of. Yeah. He was an evil motherfucker. So what? Charlie Kirk was a fuck. He was. How long you been trans? See what I mean? They always got trans people, gay people, dicks, mainly dicks on their mind all the time. All the time. Like they're looking at me right now wondering, does he have a dick? And quite obviously it's enormous. But this is what they think about. They're just guys. You know what I mean? This is why most political gay sex scandals have been Republicans. It's always some anti-gay Republican who preaches, anti-gay horse shit and tries to pass anti-gay legislation that gets caught with some 18-year-old kid's dick in his mouth in a hotel room. Always, always. All the homophobic stuff makes me believe this man, you can't spell believe either, dummy, is deeply closeted himself. Conservatives don't sit around talking about sucking dick. The guy that just came in the chat that led me to say what I said was obviously a Trump supporter. Stupid. And yes, they do. I never bring that shit up on this show. It's always you guys. You're always in here with some gay sex scenario. It's fucking weird. It's like the only way you know how to insult a man is to be like, you suck dick, or you take it in the ass, or you're dreaming of a 10-inch veiny throbbing. Like, you guys are fucking, you get into detail. You're disgusting people. Stop it. Stop it. I don't like it. Can't take a smoker serious. Yeah. Do another line, Cold Pack. Cold Pack's even his name. You going to drink a case today or what? Smoking. Yeah, smoking is the devil. You're right. It's like I'm shooting heroin live on screen. You guys are so stupid. It's hilarious. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like and subscribe, and not MAGA. I don't want anything from them. I don't even want to live on the same planet as them. I wish I didn't have to coexist with these evil motherfuckers. The rest of you, the good guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Sure. Oh, yeah, Magic Johnson. Yeah, Charlie Kirk was a great guy. Yeah, he was a great guy. Real good. He said that if his 10-year-old daughter were raped and got pregnant, he would force her to have the baby. Yeah. He wasn't hateful. He wasn't evil, nothing like that. Democrats are the most corrupt, anti-American administration we've ever had in office in our country. Look at all the corruption we see today. It's all Democrats, billions upon billions wasted. First of all, Pete, let me explain something to you. Democrats are not an administration. They're a political party, you stupid motherfucker. That's number one. Number two, if I ask you to tell me how, I'd like to know in detail, Pete, how billions upon billions are wasted, what they're wasted on, where they're going. Could you tell me? Angela J. Hey, I'm FBS even on here. Yes, his name is Cold Pack, fucking inbred. I'm sure they'll listen to you. Yeah. But I also don't understand you're acknowledging the death of a man and saying he deserved. Did you hear me say he deserved it? I never said such a thing, period, ever. Oh, please, guys. Yeah, sure. You guys, I remember you were all in tears when Melissa Hortman and her husband got killed, and when Nancy Pelosi's husband was beat half to fucking death with a hammer in his home when he was just trying to sleep at night. I remember how you guys were in tears over George Floyd, and now Renee Good. Oh, you're showing such compassion for Renee Good. Yeah, we're supposed to bow down to Charlie Kirk. Fuck you. For real. You guys have no hearts, and we're supposed to kiss your ass over Charlie Kirk's death? Fuck out of here. Charlie Kirk knew what he was doing. He said he was afraid he was going to get killed. If you're going to be an antagonizer, if that's what you're going to do, you're going to go out in public every day and antagonize the living shit out of people, you put yourself at risk. Larry Duncan, $5. Thank you very much, Larry. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I am. I've dealt with that shit for so many years from fucktards. Bald-headed freaks are the problem. Oh yeah, it's definitely people who are bald. Yeah, bald guys are known for being evil. Yeah, I didn't even hear about it yet, Labo. They're pieces of shit, Pelosi and them. Well, we think Charlie Kirk was a piece of shit, and Donald Trump and JD Vance and all the Epstein class. You know what I mean? The Epstein class. That's what it is. You guys support pedophiles, the most corrupt administration in the world, who also happens to be pedos and pedo protectors. And you're to talk about anybody being evil? Fuck out of here, guys. You're okay with kids getting raped. You don't even care. If Donald Trump raped a kid on live TV tomorrow, you guys would say it was good for the country somehow. You're all such fucking loser, mindless followers. We hate you. We truly hate you. You hate everyone else, and we just hate you. They're trying to make pedo legal. This man, yeah, no, they're not. Stupid ass. So another thing he's just saying. But then that negates the fact that there is freedom of speech. FBS, I don't agree with that. With what specifically? I'm not sure what you mean, Angela Jade. Charlie said the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. He said Martin Luther King Jr. was a terrible guy. And most of all, He said that if his daughter was raped and got pregnant, he would force her to have the baby. Great dad. You can watch any of these streams, fucko. Any of these streams, and what you'll see is I start out just talking. Everybody's welcome. You come in and jump in the chat, say whatever you'd like. And then within minutes, I'm being called every type of libtard and fucking every other derogatory fucking name you can imagine. Half these dickheads think I'm Mexican. They think I should be deported. Like, you guys do nothing but name call. And by the way, again, guys, if you stand for something, you must stand for it all the time. Otherwise, you're disingenuous and full of shit. So when Donald Trump is the name caller in chief, when the guy literally puts out Truth Social posts hundreds of times a day, calling all his enemies the most despicable names in the book, he calls them retards and everything else, and you're fine with that, don't come to somebody's chat and ask why they're calling people names. Okay? Don't. Guys, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe. Everybody. Do that right now. Not everybody, just the good guys. And if you can, because everybody needs money, there's a Cash App link in the chat, and there's a super chat button. You'll get a shout out, whatever else, and you'll be contributing to the show, supporting my good work. Because even though I know some of you guys that are even liberals don't like me because of the way I talk, I'm still fighting against evil, ain't I? Are you left wing or right wing? Just going to pretend you didn't ask that. You're disingenuous and full of shit. Tell me how. Tell me how. Tell me what I'm lying about, what I'm wrong about. Yeah. Elizabeth Tom, first of all, it's not a baby yet. It's a baby once it's born, number one. And number two, so what you're telling me is that if your child, God forbid, got raped by a violent lunatic, you would force her to have the baby so that your child, not only was her life already partially ruined by the horrible tragedy that took place at no fault of her own, but she's got to spend the rest of her life, at least the next 18 years, looking in the eyes basically of her attacker every single day. So every day she sees her child, she should have to relive what happened to her. You're all sick in the fucking head. You all are. The world would be better off without you, honestly. And I believe you do that to your own children. I truly do, because your dumbass fucking religious beliefs. You believe in the children's book, the Bible. You believe in an invisible man in the sky. See what I mean? Look, Turd Ferguson, he was in here with gay shit last night. Told you. It's none of us in here talking any of this shit, but they'll say the Democrats are the party of gay people and all this shit. Look, see what I'm saying? Fucking weird. Why are you thinking about guys getting pegged, bro? Turd. God damn. Ugh. Fucking creepy. I should start a thing. If you say something gay in here, you get blocked. And I don't mean like an anti-gay thing. I mean, if you use that as some sort of insult to people or something, yeah, you should get blocked. Yeah. How often does this happen? How many kids? Where is it taking place? Jesus comes back. Shut the fuck up, bro. Jesus comes back. Yeah, right. Shane Lewis, fuck you. Look at him in all capitals, how every fucking MAGA idiot writes. FBS, so when you get your wife pregnant, you walk around saying, I don't know what's inside your womb. Come on now. You know what I mean. You know what I fucking mean. And by the way, Charlie Kirk, you guys' hero, he was fooled by a dolphin fetus. He didn't even know what a baby fetus looked like. Fucking idiot. You know, he was eaten alive in the debate. I support Donald Trump because he's not a possession like the fans you worship. What does that mean? A possession? What does that mean? Vinny Bo, I'm sorry. 199. Thank you very, very much, Vinny. I appreciate you, brother. Let me see. No, I don't think so. User, go fuck yourself. Oh, look at me. I'm so intelligent. You're a Trump supporter. Enough said. Yeah, no shit. Brad Lang, you know what? I'm going to hook you up, man. Because hold on. Subscribe if you haven't already. And hop in the chat. I need more mods in here. The fuck are you? Guys, do me a favor. All the good guys, please hit the like and subscribe. It's very, very important. Brad Lang, I can't find you, bro. Can you throw a comment in the chat real quick? What's up, Bobby? Idiot. Well said, Shane Lewis. Murderer. Shut the fuck up. George Carlin said it best, man. You guys are all full of shit. George Carlin said it best. Conservatives want live babies so they can grow up to be dead soldiers. You guys, hold on. You guys only give a shit about babies until they're born. You don't want single mothers to have food stamps, Section 8, cash assistance. You don't want free school lunches. You don't want none of that shit. None of it. You just want to make sure those babies are born. And of course, none of you are taking any of them in. How many of you guys are out there adopting these unwanted babies? Just out of curiosity. Stop stating in your warm little sheet hole and support the movement outside. ICE out. You stay at home. You support ICE. Fucking fuck. If you're if you're preborn, you're good. If you're preschool, you're fucked. That's George Carlin. That's what he said. You don't want free speech. No, I do. It's you guys. It's people like Trump that don't want free speech. Trump has so far done exactly what it said in Project 2025. He's used the military to break up peaceful protests. Okay. He's used the FCC to get late night TV show hosts suspended and fired for making fun of him, for picking on him because he's a snowflake. Okay. He pulls press passes from any journalist who asks him a tough question. He'll straight up threaten to take the broadcast license away from any network in which the news programs are a little harsh on him. Biggest fucking anti-free speech party ever. Elon Musk, if you disagree with him on Twitter, he'll block you in a fucking heartbeat. I mean, you guys don't believe in freedom of speech. You believe in freedom of your speech. Anything that hurts your fucking feelings, and everything hurts your feelings, you don't believe in it. You guys are so funny, man, because you'll talk about cancel culture and shit, right? When you guys talk about cancel culture, do you mean like when Colin Kaepernick practiced his First Amendment right on a football field and you guys like assholes went in your backyards or were burning all your Nike stuff and telling everybody to boycott Nike? Is that cancel culture? How about when Target was selling some clothes you didn't particularly like and you boycotted Target? Was that cancel culture? What about Bud Light when they had some sort of trans representative? You boycotted Bud Light. Was that cancel culture? What about when Tom Hanks was on Saturday Night Live and made some fucking funny ass joke? Or no, he wouldn't. He played a MAGA guy who wouldn't shake a black guy's hand, which is very accurate. And you guys wanted him canceled. Remember all that stuff? You guys are the biggest snowflakes on planet fucking Earth. Let me see. That's a boycott, not cancel culture. No. See what I mean about how stupid they are? Yeah, boycotts are part of cancel culture. Yeah, you're trying to cancel the company, stupid fuck. That's what it is. So what it is, that's cancel culture. Tried to cancel Tom Hanks. That's cancel culture. You've done it to many, many people. Anybody who says what you don't like, you tried to cancel Eminem, for fuck's sake. Trump, my president, your president. Okay. Good job pointing that out. Yeah, I'm fully aware that he won the election. Speech may be free, but it may have consequences. Unless it's for you guys, though, right? Then it's a problem. None the left was doing. All right. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, God, don't get them started on Kaepernick. I know, right? Did I just trigger them? A black guy practicing his First Amendment rights. Oh, my God. Nothing makes MAGA crazier than that. Holy shit. Trump is mental. He is. He's a sick fuck. And he's demented. see this.
And my stupid people, when I wanted to refute it, they said, sir, don't dignify it with a rebuttal.
Have you been noticing peculiar behavior recently in someone you know?
Carried out by
Someone who mixes fiction and reality?
the late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man.
Perhaps someone of advanced age you have known for years.
Did you just see Maduro, Venezuela? It's unbelievable, Venezuela.
Of course, we all have our goofs. But consistently odd behavior can be a sign of frontotemporal dementia, a degenerative disease of the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain that dramatically impairs cognitive function. And there are some key signs to look out for, like slurring words.
The failing New York Times by anonymous, really anonymous.
Struggling to find the correct words is another sign.
The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges of the investigation.
You may also notice someone veering into incoherent ideas detached from reality.
You know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark.
Or an inability to complete simple sentences.
Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat.
Other notable symptoms include impaired motor function, such as a wavering limb, and decreased balance, often accompanied by a signature lean or arched stance. If someone you know is demonstrating several or all of these symptoms, they are seriously unwell. As a matter of safety, they must be relieved of critical responsibilities and disqualified from any position of authority. Remember, frontotemporal dementia is a degenerative disease. Cognitive function will never return and will only deteriorate further. Don't ignore the signs.
Yeah, he displays all the signs on a daily basis. He doesn't have long. Believe me, he doesn't. Michael Cohen, and I've been saying this for years. The fact that the fucking left accepted this piece of shit, I guess they all forgot the scumbag he always was. I saw what he did, and good. You know what I mean? Good. I'm glad at least, Ben Meiselas now is like, oh, we're not going to platform him anymore and blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't have to begin with. You shouldn't have to begin with. He's a piece of shit, Michael Cohen. He's a con man himself. He's a con man, and he thanks. He was Donald Trump's fixer. I mean, the fact that the left will accept these people, it's the same thing I saw happening with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Once a scumbag, always a scumbag. Just because that bitch is saying some shit you like, now she's accepted. Fuck that. She's a pig too. Tremendous dick syndrome. I know, bro. I know, Tiger. Your wife has a hard time with my TDS. She does. I'm just kidding. You don't have a wife. You never got pussy. You have TDS, buddy? Again, same to you. My dad hated Trump in the 80s and 90s. Nothing has changed. Everybody did. Dave, that's what people say to me. They think I'm a liberal. I'm not even a liberal. They say to me like, oh, I bet you loved him before he ran for president. No. I grew up in Queens, New York. Everybody hated him in New York City. Everybody knew exactly what he was. He was on the tabloids all the time, cheating on all his wives, getting sued for being a scumbag and a slumlord. He had a reputation of a guy who would throw old ladies out in the snow, shit like that, and for good reason. Everybody hated him. You know what I mean? And pretty much he was kind of universally hated. Even when he did The Apprentice, a lot of people didn't like him. But when he started running, man, he came down that golden escalator and said, Mexicans are rapists. And these hillbillies were all in, man. They were all in. Racists in general, too, because I'll always say, what cracks me up? Like, this channel was a mafia history channel, right? I started doing politics on it a while ago, but I get a lot of Italians that are from Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, Manhattan, shit like that. And they love Trump. They love Trump. And I say all the time, now, believe me, those are the stupid ones. Smart people, no matter what, nationality they are, don't like Trump. But I say, I never thought I'd see a day when people who hated each other forever would vote for the same person. In other words, people on the streets of Brooklyn despise the type of people that come from the hills of Alabama, and vice versa. They despise it. I never thought I'd see a day where they vote the same. Rednecks and hillbillies from the deep South and people from the 5 fucking boroughs and the Northeast and all these big cities and shit. You know the one thing they have in common? There's one thing they have in common. Anybody want to guess what that is? Anybody want to guess? People don't give a shit about New York, people. They don't care what you think. New York is a tiny little place in the world full of idiots. New York is a tiny little place. You want to stick to that, Mike Morgan? The biggest city in the entire fucking country. Yeah, you're doing great, Mike. You're killing it. You sound very well informed. Racism. No, racism. It's the one thing, believe me. I'm from a large Italian family. Racism. That you hear just as much racism on the streets of those 5 boroughs as you do in the hills of Alabama and Oklahoma and fucking Kentucky and everywhere else. That's the one thing they all have in common. And it's hilarious because deep down inside, they fucking despise each other. But they're both against Mexicans and black people. And that's all that matters to them. That's it. Mediocre white racist men were given an identity through MAGA, and they will do anything to hold on to that. Morals, laws, and reality has gone out the window. I'm not sure what to do anymore. Bill, beautifully said. I'm going to take a picture of that. Beautifully said. Yes. I'm going to post that in my community or some shit. That is beautiful. It's true. It's 100% true. There are people that have never been anything or had anything, and they finally have an identity. And that's why they will die. Oh, yeah, you got it, Trim Master LD. I didn't even see that. Yeah. They will die to protect this man because when he's done, they're done. And that's why they'll never admit he's wrong, because then they'd have to admit they were wrong. And let's face it, these are not the types of people that take responsibility for their actions. You know what I mean? Just like their leader. Bobby Barbarian, $4.99. I support Donald Trump because he rebuilt the military. Fuck you, Bobby. Bobby comes in with the cliches every day. Thanks for the $5, brother. Oh, shit. It's not racist to hate criminals of every race. Who said anything about criminals? It's not criminals you hate. It's you guys hate specific people. Anybody pretty much that isn't Lily White, you hate. And even if they are white, if they're different from you in any way, if they're fucking gay, if they're trans, if they're anything, except for lipstick lesbians, everybody loves them apparently. You hate them, and that's why when people say liberals are the hateful part, guys, we only hate you. That's it. We hate, and I don't consider myself a liberal, but leftist, whatever. We hate MAGA because of what you did to this country. We don't hate anyone else. It's you guys. You hate every fucking body. You hate liberals. You hate Mexicans, any kind of Hispanic, Latino. You hate all of them. You hate black people. You hate fucking gay people, trans people. You hate anybody who's different from you. And it comes from a place of fear. That's why I think you guys are such pussies. And what's funny is, if you look at Daryl Good, if you look at you could look this up. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump. If you look up the study they did about the way conservatives and liberals think differently, and it's a fact. It's not some bullshit opinion piece. You could check it out. Their brains work differently. Conservatives, and this is the funny thing about you guys, because you guys truly believe that you're the alphas, like MAGA men, which is the funniest thing in the world, because I've never met a follower who's an alpha male, and you guys are the biggest followers on the planet. But it talks about how conservatives, they have a larger right amygdala, the part of their brain that processes fear. Okay. And the larger the right amygdala, the more fearful you are of things. And that's why Fox News can fucking fearmonger you into voting against your own best interests for like 50 years now. They can fearmonger you. That's why. I'm not even sure Fox News was around that long, but you know what I mean? Republicans, now Fox News. because they can tell you, oh, the Mexicans, there's a caravan coming over the southern border, and you all fucking panic. And then they tell you to go out and buy as many guns as possible so that the Republican politicians can get their pockets lined by gun manufacturers and the NRA. You guys get played constantly. They tell you the Democrats are coming for your guns to get you to spend more money on guns you don't need because you live in the middle of no fucking where nobody's ever going to try to bother you. You know, they tell you the Muslims are coming, you panic there. There's one of the funniest things. Should I bring this up or not? No, I'll wait. But that's what they do to you guys. They tell you that trans stuff is being taught in schools, and you lose your mind. You're terrified. Oh my God, they're going to turn my kid trans. You know, you guys are so fucking soft and paranoid and scared. It's crazy. You have no balls. So ever. I'll tell you what, I got a stepson in school. Ain't nobody turning the kid trans. First of all, it doesn't work that way. I don't think you could just turn a kid trans, number one. Number two, kids into chicks. I imagine he'll stay that way, you know, and we play a bigger role in his life than his school does. But if that's how a kid turns out, that's just how they turn out. You're supposed to love your kid no matter what, you know, but they have such a fear of all this stuff. And a lot of the hate against the LGBTQ community is because exactly what I said earlier. A lot of these guys, they hate what they are, you know, and they take it out on other people who are similar. And that's why I said I think a lot of them are closeted. Nobody just walks around hating any one group of people unless they're part of that group. Believe me. I'm not talking about like racists doing stuff, but I mean, like, I always use this example. There's this guy in this community that this channel's a part of. His name is MRE. He's a white supremacist. And he's one of these guys that pretends he hates rats. He's anti-rat. In other words, anybody who ever told on anyone. I told you the community's about the mafia. So this guy named himself Mob Rats Exposed, and he talks constantly about rats. I hate rats, fucking rats. Rats should all die. Rats are lower than pedos. Rats. And I said years ago, watch, we're going to find out that he's a rat, because I've been in the streets my whole fucking life, and I never met a criminal who runs around all day talking about rats. They're cautious. They get paranoid that people might be, but they don't obsess over them. And what do you know? We found out beyond a reasonable doubt that this guy is a huge rat. He was looking at probably 20 years to life in prison, and he skated, case disappeared, vanished into thin air because he cooperated. I look at it the same way with people that are so obsessed with gay people. They hate gay people. There's a reason for that. It's you're overcompensating. You don't want people to suspect you of it, so you'll just try to convince everybody that you hate those people so bad you could never possibly be one. You know, I put my life on it. Okay, since you don't get it, green substance here.
Is pretty simple to explain. Basically, when Nixon was discovered having committed Watergate, people thought the Republican Party was washed up. But a clever staffer on in Nixon's White House came up with an idea for how to get more new Republican voters to replace all the people that were turned off by the corruption that had just been exposed, and perhaps save the party. His name was Lee Atwater. And he said, I know where there's all kinds of disgruntled white people. All you got to do is appeal to them over their anger about the end of Jim Crow and about school desegregation and about the Civil Rights Act. And these are the words that you'll say to kind of trigger them. Then we call these the racist dog whistles. And you will send a message to them that they are welcome in the Republican Party. And starting in the mid-70s to the mid-80s, there was a massive change in voter registration from Democrat to Republican on the part of all of these racists and lowlifes and ignorant people. At the same time, Trump started to have political ambitions.
Got it? Yeah, there was a big switch. Google the Southern strategy genius. You talking to me? Yeah, he just explained it to you. I'm fully aware of what the Southern strategy is. I'm familiar with it. That was literally the big party switch. That doesn't even make any sense. Phoenix Gun, again, you're here all the time. I'll ask you the same question. All right, a green substance, because you're the one that said that, you know, Democrats are the party of the KKK and all that. Let me ask you a question. Which party supports keeping up statues of Confederate soldiers, and which party tries to take their statues down? This guy wants to see me with my shirt off. You see what I mean, guys? And I don't care. Hey, anybody's welcome here. You know, Just be who you are, man. Stop hiding. Break out of the closet like the Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah. Nope. Democrats still using blacks and illegal aliens to your benefit. To my benefit? Interesting. I support Donald Trump because I love him. Why? I love him because he is a wise guy. Okay. Anyway, back to this specific thing. There wasn't a party switch. That's been debunked. It's never been debunked. Republicans just deny it. How has it been debunked? There you go. Green substance. You just answered the question. The Democrats are taking down statues left and right. That's right. And who are the statues of? Slave owners. Slave owners and Confederate leaders and shit. Gee, I wonder why the party of the KKK would be doing that. It's almost like there was a big switch, right? Isn't that amazing? It's almost like, I don't know, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that back in the day, way back then, the Democrats were conservatives and the Republicans were liberals. And now Democrats are liberals and the Republicans are conservatives. You do know what liberal means, right? Like accepting of all, basically open-minded. So why would the liberals be the party of racism and the conservatives, which basically the conservatives want nothing to change. If it was up to them, it would still be the 1950s. Why would they be the party of acceptance? It's not that way, is it? You just answered the question for me, a green substance. That's how you know you're stupid. Okay? Because you know it yourself. Democrats want those statues taken down. Republicans want them kept up. And Republicans fight for the Confederate flag. Nikki Haley fought to keep that flag in front of the Capitol building in her state. Democrats are fully against the Confederate flag. Why would that be? Yes, it was. It was. Look, statues of soldiers and leaders of our military that did great things for our country. The Confederacy, you understand that there was a civil war, right? And the Confederates fought against us, against the U.S. Basically, even though they were American citizens, they were the enemy. They were the enemy. They fought for slavery, you know? Oh, no, bullshit. I listen to you guys opposing views all the time. But if an opposing view to you is just lying and making shit up, then no, we don't accept that because it's bullshit. We are the party of acceptance. Any legal citizen that supports America is welcome. Doesn't matter what they look like or who they sleep with. A green substance. That's the funniest shit I've heard in a while. You guys are the most homophobic, racist, transphobic pieces of dog shit ever to disgrace the fucking earth. Okay? Are you kidding me? You hate every fucking body. You'll use anybody to get Trump in office for their votes, but that's it. You guys hate everything. You ain't a good party of acceptance. Yeah, I remember the videos of all those Trump rallies where they were beating the shit out of any black guy that showed up to the fucking rally. I remember that. I remember that Latinos for Trump guy that campaigned for Trump and helped get Trump elected. And then after Trump got elected, he took his kid over to his MAGA neighbor's house across the street, white guy. And the fucking Latino dude thought, oh, my son can play with your son. And the white guy shot at him and told him, you were only good for your vote. You're not accepted and never will be. And don't you ever fucking step foot on my property ever again. Please. Please. FBS is certainly not talking about every other about every Trump supporter. Clearly has friends that are Trump supporters. He's talking about the people that are MAGA. Yeah, always. I'm talking about the hardcore base. I know people that are, good people that I think they're confused. I think if you're a good person that supports Trump, you're confused. Just my personal opinion. I think maybe you don't know enough to think otherwise, but when I say you guys, I'm talking about you diehard maggots. You guys that will fucking follow this man blindly off a cliff tomorrow, and you'll defend him no matter what he does. Yes, Southern Dixiecrats that are all now Republicans. Yep. If not happened in his area, not happened anywhere. What? We care about women when it comes to sports, but when it comes to Epstein, they're strangely silent. Oh, I know. Isn't that some shit? They're worried about, because it's not about women. It's about trans people. You know, they hate trans people. So they don't want trans people to be able to use whatever bathroom they want, which personally, you know, it's not an issue I care too much about. And you don't want them to be able to play in women's sports, not because of the women. You just hate trans people. You don't want them to have any rights at all. Because if you cared about women, you would not constantly, year after year, defend a guy who is without a doubt a sexual predator, a rapist, and a pedophile, and a guy who is currently covering up for the most prolific pedophile ring in American history. You wouldn't, but you do. So you guys don't care about women. You don't. They do not give a shit about women's sports. This is the only time they've ever pretended to give a shit about women's sport. I know, they're full of shit. It's not fair for a trans to play against women because they will always be male by their DNA, and they are naturally stronger than a woman. I agree, personally, Angela Jade. But the thing is, it's not the issue they're making it out to be. I proved this the other day. There's 560,000 NCAA athletes in this country, and 7 of them are trans. So what Fox News will do is they'll pick out that one instance where it happens like once or twice a year, and they'll blow it up into a big thing, and they'll make you think it's happening everywhere, every school, everywhere. Just trans men just whipping the asses of women all over the place. It's not true. All right, well, at least we agree on that, a green substance. I think Trump supporters are controversial and love to argue and always think they have all the answers, and they have racist tendencies, and their egos won't let them pull out from supporting Trump. Well, again, it's their identity. And if they stop supporting Trump, they lose their identity. What did this say? It happened. Virginia trans student rape a girl. Phoenix, is English your first language? I'm being serious. I'm not even making fun of you. That was red wave in Virginia, happened in 2021 because Biden DOJ went after parents' protest. Wow, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's amazing. And the Republicans refused to subpoena Donald Trump, even though he's the main person in the files. Let me see. I don't really watch that show anymore. Yeah, green substance. And they went about things 2 totally different ways. 92% of the people that Obama deported, of all the people he deported, were violent criminals. 92%. So, you know, what Donald Trump and ICE are doing now is completely the opposite. Well, Angela Jade, just remember this. Trump was in office then when that happened. So if anybody did it, you know. I just answered you, Charles D, because I know you guys are very black and white people. Everything is one way or the other, but there's nuance and complexity to things, you know. And just because one guy deported people and another guy deported people does not mean they deported people the same way, and they didn't. Again, Obama, 92% of the people he deported were violent criminals. ICE is running around shooting people in the fucking face, knocking old ladies on the ground, arresting American citizens, and every fucking thing else. Different story. Go ahead, talk about it, Magic Johnson. There's no proof whatsoever. Go ahead. Meanwhile, I'll play you this, and then I'm going to go, guys.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marlon's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I standing there with no...
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.
Guys, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.